If your snack of choice at the cinema is not salty and buttery, it's likely...
Licorice. Red licorice. Those strands of chewy goodness go perfectly with plots, laughs, and tears.
And one of America's favorite licorice is red vines. Their story and how they're made is like a movie in your mouth.
In a land full of candy stands one man.
Doug Coslow, assistant brand manager of American Licorice Company, to be exact.
Red vines are enjoyed by all sorts of candy enthusiasts. Kids, teens, adults, grandmas, grandpas, everyone, including this guy.
He and 150 employees work at this 250,000 square foot factory.
In a land far, far away
Union City, California, if you really want to know.
stands one factory and a mixer.
Actually, they have 16 mixers. And to get things started for a batch of red vines, into them goes flour.
Hang on. Plot twist!
You thought this chewy treat was gelatin-based. The dough thickens like a movie plot with corn syrup added, citric acid, and then...
And then, I'll tell you what. Original red. Top secret flavor formula.
Gosh, this really is a movie.
I heard through the red vine that the flavors are strawberry, raspberry, something berry, and some other things.
You are right. And wrong. See? That's how secrets work.
No one truly knows the formula of that flavor, because there really is no way to put your finger on what exactly original red flavor is.
Even the name licorice itself is a misnomer. American licorice was one of the first to use the licorice plant root in candy and made it black.
That's right. Charlie Chaplin used their black licorice for the shoe he ate in the gold rush.
In the 1950s, red vines were invented, but without licorice root.
Sales took off, but the term licorice stayed.
Meanwhile, back at the factory, the kettle of red dough is cooked at 190 degrees for 2 hours. And under the big kettle stands our candy man, Theo.
This dough is really hot.
But he isn't afraid of putting the hot dough in its place. Theo wheels and seals up each can with dough.
That dough sits for 24 hours, similar to that of baking bread. Red bread, who would have thunk it?
Oh, now that's a movie title. In a world of bread, one is red. Red bread.
Let's break some red, shall we?
Okay, let's tip it too. The cooled cans are lifted by pulleys, flipped upside down, and the dough is sent into a hole in the floor, which leads to a press.
Gravity forces the dough onto a press that molds the dough into their signature vines.
The mold pattern creates the raised texture, and the mold itself spins around the dough as it's extruded. This gives the final spiral finish the licorice is famous for.
The blade that cuts the vines is made of rubber to preserve the plastic conveyor trays. They fall into molded plastic trays, which are then stacked and taken to large ovens for a second cook.
At 190 degrees for 12 hours. This 3-day, 3-step steam and cool and steam again process gives the licorice its signature chewy texture.
The vines are removed and inspected. And who makes sure the texture is just right? As the inspected packs are sent to packaging, they move past Ed. His job is to taste the licorice at random.
I love my job.
One man has the job I want.
The texture is not rubbery or plastic. We take the time to make it the way we want it.
They frankly deserve a proper presentation. The paper trays that the vines lie in are folded and sent down the assembly line.
The conveyor brings the red vine pieces to a rotary scraper which lifts off the red vines. And then they're brought to a sorter. This 10-sided architectural wonder uses geometry and gravity to distribute the vines into 10 catchment buckets. When a bucket fills with the proper serving weight, the vines are dropped into a tray below.
The vines and trays are packaged into a fit, form, and seal machine that seals up 200,000 packages in one day. The sealed packages are dropped onto a conveyor belt. And suction cups pick up the packages 24 to a box. These are shipped to cinemas and grocery stores throughout the land.
As the lights go down, remember one thing.
Bite the ends of it and really just sip on a red vine. Since it's hollow, it can be used as a straw.
I like mine the old-fashioned way, thanks. In my mouth, bitten and chewed.